There's a fundamental flaw hidden in this new Remix V3 proposal. Now, if you're not familiar with Remix, it's a popular framework that's built on top of React and React Router. In fact, React Router version 7 is actually Remix version 2. It's complicated. Anyway, Ryan and MJ, the creators of React Router and Remix, have wrapped up V7 of React Router and have proposed Remix V3 as a complete departure from V2. It's essentially Remix in name only, because if what's in the proposal comes to pass, and what they say on Twitter, it's not backwards compatible with V2 or React Router or even React, honestly. But that's not even what I'm calling the fundamental flaw. So let's go have a look at Ryan and MJ's proposal for Remix V3. Now, at the top, they talk about how you shouldn't worry if you're on React Router. It's going to be fine going forward as Ryan and MJ move off and do V3. It's got this, kind of open process for having it continue forward. That's really cool. And then they go into Remix V3, which is going to be a reimagining of what the web framework can be as a fresh foundation built on a fork of Preact. It's going to be faster, simpler, and closer to the web itself, which is definitely on brand for Remix. They've always been about that. And after that, in this blog post, they lay out some principles. And 5 of those 6 principles around Remix V3 are about being faster, simpler, and closer to the web itself. So totally great, on brand there. Now, the fundamental flaw, as I see it, comes at the end of Principle 1. And Principle 1 is about AI, which is definitely topical. And it starts off by saying that the framework itself will be written in a way so that it is easy for LLMs to write. And that definitely makes sense. Everybody's doing that. That's table stakes nowadays. And then we get to what I would consider the flaw. Additionally, develop abstractions for applications to use models in the product itself, not just as a tool to develop it. What that means is they're going to be building features into the framework to support the next generation of AI apps. And that sounds really good. They basically want to bake Jarvis into the framework. And if you think I'm blowing that out of proportion, here's a tweet where I laid it all out and asked if I was misinterpreting it. And Ryan said, nope, you're not reading too much into it. And initially, I got to say, I was really psyched about that. I want us to build really innovative Jarvis-like applications. And I think the current crop of AI chatbots is just kind of super boring and stale. We've seen it. We've done it. I want to see more novel ways to use AI in our applications. But in thinking more about it, I don't think it makes sense for us to expect that type of innovation from the framework. Innovation starts at the application level. Conceptually, there are 4 levels to the web tech stack. There's the application at the top. Then there's libraries, think like component libraries and API wrappers. Then underneath that, there's frameworks, think like Next.js, Remix. And then finally, there's the web platform itself. And applications are traditionally where that innovation happens. Necessity being the mother of innovation. We've got some cool problem we need to solve for our customers, and we can innovate in the application to solve that problem. And then if it's a cool solve, you'll see other applications cloning it. And then if that solution gets really popular, you'll start to see it percolate down into libraries to make it easier to build that application feature. And then eventually, if it gets so popular that it's basically ubiquitous, then it'll be baked into the framework. And maybe even the web platform itself, it basically becomes a requirement for applications. And that's generally the flow of innovation on the web. App features abstracted into libraries, and perhaps into frameworks, and maybe even at the end, into the platform. But Remix V3's proposal has AI feature innovation bubbling up from the framework to the app. It's a framework-first model of thinking. And AI chat is actually a really good practical example of why this framework-first approach isn't going to work. So, let's take ChatGPT Chat. That was the first one that came out, and everybody's like, whoa, never seen that before. It's super innovative. The client would open a streamed request to the server, which would proxy that request to the API and stream back tokens. It was super cool. And so companies started replicating that. Then lots of folks wanted it. So we got some libraries like the AI library from Vercel that handle both the client and the server streaming logic. And we got UI libraries like LLM UI to optimize the streaming UI. So now everybody wants this. And should it roll into the framework? No. AI just innovates too fast at this point. Just last week, OpenAI created an agents mechanism that handles both text chat and voice, and it does it off the client. All the server needs to do is have a single endpoint to get a token, which can easily be done at SSR render time. No more streaming through the server at all. So if Remix v3 had baked in support for the traditional method of AI streaming, it'd already be out of date, and we just would end up ignoring it or working around it. I think the idea of baking AI enabling features into a framework at some point way down the road is a great idea, but not now, not today. In fact, actually, what we need from frameworks to support AI apps is actually really simple. We need flexible API support. The framework should have API routes that can return any type of payload, as well as streams, as well as supporting like SSE and WebSockets. And that's really it. I mean, if you want to go for extra, you could have server functions. I mean, good server functions are nice to have, but not required. Another nice to have would be like on-demand components with the ability to kind of pull down components dynamically based on responses from AI. Again, nice to have, not required. It's not much, honestly. The only thing that really required is good API support, and all of our existing frameworks have that already. And that's the reality here. You can do AI apps with basically any decent framework. In fact, things like SSR and SSG, these actually kind of get in the way of fully dynamic applications like AI apps. So the flaw in Remix v3's proposal is that it needs to be in the AI feature mix at all. Frameworks are the bedrock of your application. They're the slowest evolving part of the stack, and that's on purpose. The framework is meant to be like the foundation of your house. It's the boring thing that you build really cool stuff on top of. The good news is that honestly, this AI thing could be just a throwaway line, and the proposal would be no worse for it. Remix 3.3 would enter the fray as a performance-first Preact framework. It could take on the likes of like a Solid Start and a Quick and a Fresh for the mantle of the fastest framework, and maybe win that space. Who knows? Anyway, best of luck to Ryan and MJ and team on Remix v3. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to put that in the comment section right down below. In the meantime, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you really like the video, hit the subscribe button and click on that bell and be notified the next time a new Blue Collar Coder comes out.